Hello, YouTube. Welcome to my channel, Marriage, Politics, and Sports. Here's another episode of my Let the Women Tell It series. This is episode 30. And I'm on a lot of panels where they talk about relationships. And I often say that, Black women and all women in the West, a lot, not all. There's a lot of women who price themselves outside of the market where their value to a marriage is more than they can actually provide. And so guys are out there not to marry them. So here's a woman who's actually rich. And her perspective is that there's a lot of women, not a lot, there's a few women in that upper percentile who actually have priced themselves out of the market. But the issue is that a lot of women look at these very successful women and think they could behave and act and follow in their footsteps and have fairy tale type expectations of a man, in terms of what he should be providing to her, where she could sit down and have a life of leisure while he works himself to death. Women who think that way price themselves out of the market. But every so often, it's good to hear a woman say it, right? Not a man, but a woman say it, who recognizes that there is such a thing as women pricing themselves out of a general market. And it's not just because they have money, because it's because their expectations are out of bounds. So, without further ado, I'm gonna play a couple of minutes. I want you to listen closely, because Ebony K. Williams is a good poster child for this kind of stuff because she's actually have come full circle from her first foray into the relationship market and discussion. And part of it is on her own personal journey. And before I I put the video up, again, it's Earn Your Leisure. I'm going to put their link in the description and you can watch the whole thing start to end and get a full breadth of where she's coming from and the questions that they've asked. And but please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell, and more importantly, put comments in on what you think. Well, if you think she's correct, if you think she has a point, and you just will go from there. So after I play, it's like 2 minutes or so, and then I'll just say my closing remarks, and this will be a pretty short video. So stay tuned. Here goes.
Like before I decided to do this journey, I was like 37, 38, and I was dating these like 52, 53-year-old guys, a lot of them in finance, a lot of them in, having businesses. And they were like, love you, definitely would be with you, would even marry you. But baby, oh no, no, no. So I kept running into that. Like there were like three guys in a row that was the scenario. So it's like, now I got a decision to make. How bad do I want to be a mother? I had to assess that because if that's kind of optional, then what he's proposing is a good scenario. Let's go live life and I still boss out and be a great career woman and we travel and go to the St. Bart's and Saint Tropez and live a great life. But if I really want to be a mother, and I do, I had to make a different decision, which is let me go have my child, and then we can have more of a companion relationship with these older guys that have already raised their children and lived their lives. And that's probably the path I'm on. Yeah. But yes, to the front end of your question, what do we do as middle-aged, let's say that, let's just own it, right? Middle-aged Black women who are highly educated with these high incomes based on societal averages, we've essentially priced ourselves out of the market. And when I say, I mean, in a lot of ways, we priced ourselves out of the market in terms of our incomes many of the time. Because think about it, like, let's just talk. You guys are numbers guys for real, right? When you're talking about making $500,000 to $750,000 a year in some cities, you're talking about being in the 1% to 2% of income earners of the whole society.
Yes.
As period, not just as Black women, like period. Like when you make $750,000 a year or more in New York City, you're earning in the top 1% of New York City, even compared to white men, compared to Black men, compared to anybody. So now that's a small pool anyway. And now you're telling me that I want somebody that's earning in the top 1% alongside me, and I want him.
See, now let me stop it right there. See, when she first started talking, She didn't really fill in these details. One, she wants to remain being a boss chick. Two, she doesn't want a husband. She wants a partner, a companion. And that makes sense for her because having a husband means that she has to relinquish some of her autonomy. And it doesn't matter how much money she makes. She doesn't want to do that. So she's going to have some kind of partnership agreement with the man while she's raising the kid who would just be coming there to bust those cheeks every so often. She can go on trips. She could do all these kind of things with this guy. And he has to accept a little piece of her that she wants to give him. And he's going to accept a little, and she'll take whatever love or companionship he can give her. And, maybe they'll talk about monogamy and all that kind of stuff. I don't know. That's just something they have to do. But she said the key thing that she said is she finally figured out that she priced herself out of a regular relationship and economy. That's the one thing she missed when she first started talking about the bus driver thing, because it's not practical that every man, black, white, or indifferent, are all going to be millionaires. That's not how the world works. That doesn't mean those men who remain bus drivers and policemen and plumbers and stuff lack ambition. There's limits to how far people go. That's the way life is. So she's finally understanding that. And it's not a slight against what she wants. It's that what she wanted was unrealistic. And now she's finding out that, hey, you know what? I'm in this high, lofty level, and I have to see it from a realistic point of view. And she's finally starting to get it. And, so I don't hate on Ebony K. Williams. I think she's a good case study. The unfortunate part is a lot of broke women think they can have the things that she has. Just like a lot of broke men think they can live vicariously through rich guys and have all kinds of women, all kinds of babies. You can't do that. So anyway, so she provided some good stuff for me. So I appreciate, her coming out and saying this to these guys. Earn your leisure. I'm gonna put that link in the description. R. Payne, marriage, politics, and sports. Over and out.